You're now tuned in to the Week 17 Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Amalean, fourth from the cross, and Stat Guy Matt. Remember, trust no one except for these guys.
Hello there, fantasy footballers. Welcome to week 6 of 17, and we are here for our first podcast of the week. I'm your host, fourth from the cross. You can call me fourth for short.
And it's your boy, Amalean. We back for another week. Let's get it.
Stat Guy Matt here. Had some technical difficulties earlier, but I'm trying to recover here.
Nice. So we have a special guest later on today that goes by the name of Dan. He was the only undefeated team in our league, but he took his first L this past week. Besides that, though, how did everybody else do?
Man, I got a 2-game winning streak in our league, and I think I got the momentum now, and I'm gonna keep getting these W's.
Yeah, I had a decent projected total. I'm supposed to put up 98 points, but I ran into a buzzsaw here in King Sack. Put up 142 on me. I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, man, King Sack, he's doing his thing this year. Amalean, man, I'm rooting for you to get this next dub, but you play me, man, and I just can't let that shit happen.
Hey, it's like I said earlier. You ain't nothing to me no more. You ain't made the playoffs in 2 years. All right, so
don't tell anybody that, man. They're gonna stop listening to our podcast, dude.
Hey, there's a lot. Hey, but hey, we got a lot of competition. All right, this is a solid league. All right.
Yes.
Solid as fuck. All right, fellas. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Waiver Wire Gold.
All right, y'all know how it goes. We're looking for that gold. We're looking for that fool's gold. We're going to go ahead and start with the QBs. Injuries, we have none that I can think of. First guy on our list is Jameis Winston from the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think we already kind of talked about him last week, so we'll just move forward. I think he was, what was he, gold or fool's gold? I don't remember.
Yeah, one thing you got to look at, too, is he's going against Atlanta's defense. So if you are hurting that quarterback, it might be a good start.
All right, there you go. Next guy on our list, Joe Flacco, Baltimore Ravens. I mean, he didn't have how can you say that? He didn't have the best of his days of the season, but right now he has 8 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in 5 games, and he does play the Titans this week.
Guys, to me, I don't think he's a good pickup. Last week, I know he laid an egg. I think he only had 11 fantasy points. He's only been over 20 points twice this year. If you really need a quarterback and this is your guy, guys, I think you're really hurting.
Yeah, this guy. If you're adding him, you're just shuffling the bottom of your bench. This is certainly not a power move.
Sorry, Joe. Moving on, next quarterback. I think we might have covered him before too. It's Mitch Trubisky. Threw 5 touchdown passes in the first half and finished with 6 on the day in his last game before the bye week. I mean, what's up? Do we need to talk about this guy still, or?
I'll let you get that, Matt, since you like these Bears.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Bears. I think he's probably in similar territory to Flacco. You can go out and grab him. He'll give you a decent game every once in a while, but it's not anybody that you can trust to take over in a pinch.
Yeah, they do play Buffalo week 9, so you might look at them the week before that.
One good game. So, yeah, I will endorse streaming him in week 9.
It's all good. All right, next we're going to our running backs. Couple of injuries we can go over. Big one, Matt Breida with the ankle. I don't think he's going to be playing this week coming up, so we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Saquon Barkley, he hurt his back. After the game, he said he was fine. Kerryon Johnson with an ankle injury. Matt, is he going to play? Do you know?
Yeah, he'll be fine. I think he probably would have been available if they really needed him, but fortunately, they held Green Bay far enough off that they could kind of rest him. And we're on a bye this coming week, so thinking long term, he'll be fine after the bye week.
Okay, and Leonard Fournette, he got the hamstring still that keeps lingering. I don't know. I think they might just shut this guy down for the season. Jay Ajayi got the knee. He is out for the season for sure. He's on IR, and of course, Le'Veon Bell will be back in Week 8. We'll see what he does. So, first guy on our list, of course, Matt Breida is out. So we're looking to Alfred Morris from the San Francisco 49ers. He rushed 18 times for 61 yards, caught 3 passes for 30 yards in their loss to the Cardinals. Talk to me.
He's a good pickup, and, maybe look at it at the buys, but I'm looking at the schedule right now. They're going against Green Bay this coming week, and then they got a tough one against the Rams. And then after that, it looks kind of easy. You got the Cardinals, and you got Oakland, and then the Giants. So I won't start him these 2 weeks, but maybe look at it in Week 8.
Sounds like gold, right, Matt?
Yeah, I think so. He's kind of a guy you stash and hope that he benefits from all these extra touches he's going to get.
All right, so next guy, Ronald Jones, Tampa Bay Bucks. Buccaneers, he received 10 carries, 29 yards, and lost a yard on 1 target in their last game before the bye week. What do you think, Matt?
This is another guy that is maybe worth some sort of a speculative ad. He's certainly not anybody, that's proved anything so far. So, if you've got a bad running back on your team and you're looking to shake things up, this guy could provide a spark. But there's not been any, sign that he's going to do anything great just yet.
Okay, we'll give him the ding. Next guy, Mike Davis with the Seahawks. He rushed 12 times for 68 yards and a touchdown. I think guys might have called him fool's gold last week, but I picked him up anyways. Talk to me, Amalean.
Mike Davis, man, pick him up, keep him on your bench, give him another week, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna go off against Oakland. Then they got to bye, and then they go to Detroit after that. I'm looking at him as a stash on the bench, and I'll see how it goes because it looks like him and Carson are still getting, they're sharing reps over there.
All right. Next guy, Latavius Murray from the Vikings, finished with 11 carries, 42 yards on the ground, and 2 receptions for 14 yards through the air. Talk to me, Matt.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this is not a good ad as a Delvin Cook owner. I'm assuming he's on the list because obviously Delvin Cook has not been on the field. So he's a good ad temporarily. I don't think that Delvin Cook's dealing with anything long term. So don't bank on this guy for more than a few weeks.
All right, next up, Wendell Smallwood. Of course, Jay Ajayi was injured. He rushed 3 times for 27 yards and caught 3 passes for 44 yards and a touchdown. What's up, Amalean?
This guy is going to be the number 1 pickup this week, Wendell Smallwood. He's going to be the leading back to the Eagles now that Ajayi's out, and then you got Sproles. He's out too, and Corey Clement. He's the starting running back out there now, and he showed that, he could take the load. To me, he's a good pickup.
Nice. All right. And guy we talked about already, I think, was Alfred Blue, but this week he had 46 yards on 20 carries. Not so well. He caught all 8 of his targets for 73 yards, though. Talk to me, Matt.
I mean, I feel like I should throw this to a Texans guy, but I mean, this is a beneficiary of an injury. Is it not? Is Lamar Miller's got a chest injury? Is that right?
Yeah, right. And keep in mind, Deontay Foreman is on his way back.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can just roll this one right into the next guy. Donta Foreman's the next guy. And listen, I don't know what to think about either of these guys. Donta Foreman hasn't shown, what he's capable of coming off of an injury. Maybe you guys have some insight into these guys as a pair.
Yeah,
I'm stashing Foreman, but I mean, like you said, I'm just kind of hoping he comes back well from that injury.
Yeah, we talked about this, yesterday? And, Achilles injury, it's nothing to play with, especially if you're a running back.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just it's a risky move. I still feel even with Foreman being back, Miller will be the starting running back. But right now, the Texans running game, it doesn't look too good.
So what are we calling this? Fool's gold? Gold? What are we looking at?
I'm going with fool's gold.
Yeah, I wouldn't dare touch it.
All right. So next running back, Frank Gore for the Dolphins. He led the Dolphins with 12 carries, 63 yards. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Frank Gore, if for no other reason that he's stealing carries from Kenyon Drake, and that's one of my favorite things to talk about on this show.
Which Kenyon Drake, he did his thing this past week. So thank you, Kenyon. I threw him into my lineup last minute just because I felt like he might go off.
Well, both of these guys deserve a sit this week because they're going against the Chicago Bears. So to me, it's fool's gold.
Woo. Woo. All right, Matt, it's your boy, man, LeGarrette Blount from the Lions. He had a pair of 1-yard plunges into the end zone, but only 22 rushing yards on 12 carries.
Go Lions! We got our third consecutive win over the Packers. LeGarrette Blount scored twice, but I'm not going to add him on my team. He only had 12 carries. That's not insignificant, but he's not in for passing downs. Theo Riddick takes that. And so Kerryon Johnson is eventually going to get this. I don't think this is good long term. He was a beneficiary of some goal line carries this past week, but he's not somebody that I would ever dare use as anything more than maybe a flex.
All right. So moving on to wide receivers, the only 2 injuries that I know about, maybe you guys can add on, but I think these are the only ones I remember, were Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp, both with concussions. Do y'all have anybody else I missed?
Nah, that's about it.
All right, cool. All right, so let's jump right into it. First guy on our list, Mohamed Sanu for the Falcons. Caught 4 7 targets for 73 yards and a touchdown, man. What's up?
Man, this guy is somebody out over there in the Falcons is stealing Julio Jones' touchdowns because Julio Jones still ain't scored a touchdown this year at all. Okay, and looking at Mohamed Sanu's, man, this guy is putting up some pretty decent numbers, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it too much. To me, it's a fool's gold.
What about Calvin Ridley? I mean, you think, I know a lot of people added him. I mean, do you think he's favored over Sanu still, or is Sanu overtaking that again?
I think they're still probably going to stick with Ridley as the young guy until it really fails as an experiment. But I mean, Sanu's not a bad backup. Until they figure out what they're doing there, it feels a lot like the number 2 spot in Tampa Bay or something like that, where you have no idea from one week to the next if it's the new guy or the guy who's been there.
Yeah, all I can say is these guys are stealing Julio Jones' touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So, fool's gold, not fool's gold. All right. Next guy, D.D. Westbrook. I think we talked about him before. 3 passes on 5 targets for 55 yards. I mean, I'm not even going to let y'all talk about this. Robbie Anderson from the Jets caught 3 of his team. I don't know. 5 targets for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. I've seen Robbie perform like this before. What do y'all think?
I'm going to have to go with a fool's gold here, and I'm looking at the previous weeks. Week before he had 18. The week before he had 22, and I'm talking about receiving yards. I think, it's against the Denver, but I don't know. To me, he don't deserve a starting spot or a bench spot anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think don't let one good week fool you. This guy hadn't put up more than 1 or 2 points for the previous 3 weeks.
Yeah, guys, if you're looking for Deshaun Jackson's fantasy football twin brother, it's Robbie Anderson. Next guy, Dante Moncrief with the Jags. 6 passes on 15 targets. Damn, that's a lot of targets. That's horrible. 76 yards only. Okay. What's up?
He's put up pretty decent numbers, but I still don't trust Blake Bortles, and I don't trust none of these wide receivers if that's the guy that's throwing at them. So to me, it's a fool's gold.
All right. So Ryan Grant with the Colts. Caught 6 of 9 targets for 58 yards in the Colts Week 5 loss to the Patriots. What's up, Matt?
I've been pretty hard on the Colts offense all year. I wouldn't start this guy. He's a guy who's, once again, we're only talking about him because of some injuries to T.Y. Hilton and Jack Doyle. That's got to be the majority of their catches when those 2 guys come back. This guy's not going to hardly get any looks. I think they've got some other competition there. So this is fool's gold.
Next guy, I think we brought him up maybe a week or 2 ago. Mr. Christian Kirk with the Cardinals caught only 3 passes, but for 85 yards and a touchdown. I mean, sounds like the new John Brown. What do you think, Amalean?
He went against San Francisco. San Francisco is one of the worst teams in the NFL right now. It's fool's gold to me.
All right, Marcus Valdez-Scantling. for the Packers. I mean, he was filling in a void, 7 receptions for 68 yards and 3-yard touchdown reception. He was actually targeted 10 times out of the 52 pass attempts by Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good single week, but this was another one. You had 2 receivers that were missing with the Packers, so this isn't going to be consistent, and I'll always hate on the Packers. This guy should not be on the list.
It seems like this was the only guy that actually did something against your squad, right?
Yeah, our secondary did not look good, but it didn't matter. Aaron Rodgers had almost no weapons.
All right, man. Fool's gold. All right, next guy, Cortland Sutton. I know he's probably sitting on a couple of people's bench, but I mean, he's still out there on some waiver wires. I think he's actually pretty good, but I don't know. He's not producing as much as he needs to. He only had 18 yards and 1 touchdown on 6 targets.
Fool's gold.
Short and sweet. I like it. Josh Reynolds for the Rams. He caught 2 of his 3 targets for 39 yards and had a 10-yard rush during the 33-30 win over Seattle. As soon as Kupp and Cooks went out, he kind of started shining.
Yeah, I like the Rams passing game, but I had no idea who this guy was before this game, and he's still not worth adding. Fool's gold.
Chester Rogers from the Colts. I mean, he brought in 8 of 11 targets for 66 yards only, though. He also returned 2 punts for 38 yards. You know what? I'm going to call this one. David Moore for the Seahawks. Hauled in 3 passes for 38 yards and 2 scores. Sorry, David. Rashard Higgins with the Browns. We talked about Rashard. This week, it looks like he caught a couple more passes for 66 yards and a touchdown. You think he's worth a stash on the bench?
No.
Sorry, Rashard. You're a Brown. That's where you really messed up. All right, so tight ends, a couple of injuries. I know O.J. Howard's still out with the knee. Tyler Croft from the Bengals is now out with the foot. I don't know how long that's going to last. And Austin Safaris-Jenkins is pulled some kind of core muscle or tore some kind of core muscle, and I think he's out for the season. Only tight end we have listed here because everybody in your league probably owns them all at this point at the rate that they're all getting hurt is CJ Uzomah from the Bengals. He caught 2 passes for 43 yards in the team's 27-17 win over the Dolphins. Is he worth a pickup?
I wouldn't touch a Bengals tight end. None of them can stay healthy. We talk about a new Bengals tight end every week.
Yeah, he might get hurt this week too, so
Preach.
At the rate they're going, everybody, all the tight ends in Cincy are dropping.
Yeah, they're going to have to pick up somebody from the waivers, man. It's getting rough. But all right, yeah, fool's gold. No tight ends for you guys this week. We're just going to pray for you. All right. So moving on, we come to our one of our favorite segments of every podcast, or every Tuesday podcast, that is, the APFC Commissioner's Corner. Today, we have a special guest. We are going to be interviewing our guy, Mr. First Place of the All-Pro Fantasy Club, Dan. How's it going, Dan?
What's good, fellas? How y'all doing?
We're doing good. Glad to have you.
Yeah, so go ahead and introduce yourself, let them know where you're from, how many years you've been playing.
Glad to be on. I'm Dan from Houston. Been in the APFC for going on the last 6 years. Unceremoniously a 2-time Sacco holder. That was about 3 or 4 years ago. So, yeah, making moves this year. Probably off to my best start up until this past week, but still making moves.
All right, guys. Dan, he's being a little shy. He's a little calm right now. Usually he's an animal. Okay, so don't let this guy fool you. We're gonna go.
Hey, my Tourette's is calming down. All
right, we're gonna jump right into the questions for you, Dan. So I hope you're ready. First thing we want to ask you is, how did you come up with your fantasy football team name? The one that Matt doesn't dare to speak on our show.
Listen, Amalean stood in solidarity with me last week.
Come on, man. It's not that hard, bro. It's not
Plead
that hard.
Plead the fifth.
No, I came up with it from.
No, but what's the name? What's the name?
The name is Nagger Haters, bro. Because nobody likes a nagger, bro. Nobody likes a nagger. I got it from an episode on South Park, bro. So if you ain't thinking right, yeah, it'll sound different, but yeah, it's far from that. It's far from that.
Well, South Park has aired 10 seasons since then, so you could, anytime you want to update the name, feel free.
Yeah, that was the last season I kept up with it. So.
All right, Dan. Have you made any trades this season? And if so, how have they turned out?
Yeah, actually, I made two trades, and surprisingly enough, they went through. I'd probably say the first trade, I'm standing my ground on it. I'm pretty comfortable. I'd probably say I'm comfortable on both. Yeah, I'd say that.
All right. Question 3. How did you feel when your, I think it was 3rd round pick, Jerick McKinnon, was injured?
Oof, yeah, that was tough. I had to, I guess, go back to the drawing board pretty quick since I was basically being vultured by the whole league, trying to get talked into trading when I didn't need that. Off a 4-0 record, hey, I think I turned out just fine compared to a lot of other people.
So you did go back to the drawing board, it was, right? And the first player you picked up was Antonio Gates. Right after you lost your star running back. What's up with that?
Hey, man, sometimes if you don't think about it, it makes perfect sense, bro.
All right. Well, that might explain the answer to your next question. What is the method to your madness? You seem to be on a roll this season, so shed some more light on the situation, please.
It's the same thing I've done. I just don't know why this season it's worked out a lot better than past seasons. But yeah, I just try to keep it simple, and you guys may not agree with it, but hey, it's working. It's working for me this season.
He's a leader, guys. He's an innovator. All right.
I never said that. If you don't listen to me, do not listen to me, bro.
Question 6. Oh, we lost our music. Hold on. Question 6. If you could trade your home team's NFL players with another NFL team's players, what team would it be? And I'm talking staff, GM, and coaches as well.
That's probably something I've never really given much thought into, bro. Well, I'm glad we got rid of Rick Smith.
Basically just one organization for another, including players. What team would you want?
I think he's saying he would trade literally anyone for Rick Smith.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. Hey, that guy Matt hit it right on the head on that one, man.
All right, we'll roll with that then. Question 7. If there was a thing in your league you could change, what would it be?
That's a good one. How much time you
got? Be honest, all right? If you want to change the commissioner, you could go ahead and say it.
Bro, everybody secretly loves me, all right? Just stop it.
No, not really. Nobody looks out for anybody in this fucking league. Well, whoops, whatever. Good grief, everybody's just like quick to pull quick moves on everybody, and like, dude, if you're not careful, you can fall into a panic easy. So
so is that what you would, that's what you would change in the league? Make it more friendlier? Is that what it'd be?
No, I never said that. I like the competition. I'm just very, very more observant than definitely before, if ever. But
yeah, so, I like how Dan dances around my questions. I haven't got an answer here. But we'll move on.
I'd probably say, if anything, sheesh. I don't know. That's a toughie, man.
All right, we'll circle back to that one. All right.
Gotcha.
Question 8. How many APFC Sackos do you think you will retire with?
Just those two.
How many APFC championships do you think you'll retire with?
I'm hoping to match the Sackos just to balance out. So two.
A wash.
I like that.
A wash.
That's fair.
That's a good, modest answer.
Push. All right. Question 9. If you had to drop a person from your league, from your if you had to drop a person from All Pro Fantasy Club and replace him with an animal, who would it be, and what animal would you replace him with?
Definitely Frank Brown. Definitely Frank Brown.
3 for 3.
What animal would you
And
replace
for
him
an
with?
animal, shit, that's a good question. Probably what do you? Damn, bro. Probably like a red ear turtle, bro. Just to keep it
Regular
chill, bro.
turtle.
A red ear turtle.
Yeah.
Those are the ones
Like
that
a
are
little-
good at racing, right?
Yeah. Take him down to Midtown. Some turtle races, bro.
I like it.
Some money.
Question 10. Which fantasy football friend / enemy are you likely to collude with, and why?
I'm not gonna lie.
We don't want you to lie.
I think highly of Stat Guy's Matt's proposals, because straight up he's a straight shooter, and he definitely doesn't lowball you, and he'll keep it straight on that one, man.
Hey, and also he has a short temper, and he'll throw them hands. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, he'll be quick.
Yeah,
to
we got to
snap,
circle
man.
back on that. What is I don't know that story. What story?
You don't remember because you were drunk on our draft night.
Oh, that was a fun night.
I'm just kidding. He wasn't drunk, guys. Never mind. Let's not get into that. All right. Question 11. If there were such things as fantasy football police, who would be the first person in your league to be arrested, and why?
Probably Frank. Probably Frank for his outlandish ass proposals, offers. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like literally, you get 2 misdemeanors and then it becomes a more serious each one. Come on, man.
Frank
Solicitation for Frank.
Brown, you're such a delinquent. Goodness.
No, what was that? Stack up, man?
Solicitation. That's what
Yeah.
we could pick Frank up on. He's constantly soliciting business that no one is asking for.
like literally all the time.
All right. If you can wake up one day and be a football player, who would you be, and why?
I'd probably say what? Current or past?
Don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Don't matter. I'll probably say Tony Gonzalez, man, because he was a beast.
Dan, that brings me to my next question. Question number 13. Why do you love tight ends and kickers so much?
Hey, like I said, you don't have to understand what I'm doing, but hey, if it's working for me, it's working for me, man.
I love that shit. All right. I think we should start adding like kicker to the flex. You know, maybe have 2 kickers.
We can have Dan call in every week. Give us a kicker pick.
There you
Yeah.
go. My sleeper, dog. My sleeper.
Dan's kicker pick of the week.
Dan, are you available for the Thursday podcast?
I gotta move some things around, but yeah, get back at me Wednesday morning. I'll let y'all know.
All right. What will the autobiography of your career be called when you retire from fantasy football?
Damn, I didn't know it was that serious, bro. Damn, you really thought ahead on this one.
I did.
I don't know. It would probably be some like low budget movie that would come from like, you know, an off like FXX on like Tuesday night. As far as the name, I don't know, it'd probably be called like Shenanigans or something.
Shenanigans. Okay.
How about tight ends and kickers?
I like that.
Can you kick it?
Can you kick?
There you go. There it is.
Oh, that was beautiful. All right, that's all we got for you, Dan. I appreciate that.
It's all
But
good, man.
we do want you to stick around for our next segment.
Pro Talk.
So, jumping into that, we're just giving you guys tips. We want you to be better. We want you to win a championship. And, the advice we got for you today that we'll have Dan weigh on in a bit is when you're trading, don't overthink when someone is willing to overpay. What do you think about that, Dan?
Yeah. If you're gonna think of a trade, you got to definitely stand your ground and be firm with it. You know, don't second guess the trade, much less don't second guess yourself. But I mean, if someone's willing to, overpay, then hey, let them. So
Yeah, I think when someone's willing to overpay, it's always reason to be suspicious. You should definitely make sure you do your homework when someone's willing to overpay. But if there's nothing out there, yeah, don't overthink it. Take it.
Yeah, and I agree with that too.
especially if you're the one with leverage that you got the key player, and if you're feeling like they hit their their peak, and you're trying to dump them on somebody, hey, all for it, man. Go for it.
Yeah, and if you could, and if you're overpaying me and I hit the OK button, it's just a good for me. So don't overthink it, and make sure you hit that button and take that overpay quick.
Yeah, I think it's always important too to make sure that you're paying for projected value and not what a guy has done to this point in the season. I think a lot of guys get caught up looking at where a guy is ranked right now or how many points he's put up to this point. And there are I'll just say there are a lot of resources out there for projecting continued value into the season. So if it looks like you're overpaying, that's a great way to flip a guy is to trade a guy when he's hot for somebody who's just starting up.
I mean, if somebody wanted to give me, or I have a $10 bill and they're like, hey, do you want my $10 bill and my $1 bill? Yeah, I do. Go ahead and give that to me. I mean, it's as simple as that. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, but I'm not giving you a $20 bill for a $10 bill and a $1 bill either.
Right. Of course not. Are you shooting slugs at me, you son of a... Oh, man.
Yeah, no,
Right.
but like, go back to it. If somebody wants to overpay, do your due diligence. And if it makes sense, you do it. Okay. You're the only person that knows how you want your team to look like in the future. All right. So there you go.
I like it. And that concludes.
Bro talk.
All right. Well, it's that time of the show. You know what happens when the theme music comes on. I talk about Facebook, which you should already know about, Week 17 Fantasy. YouTube, Week 17 Fantasy. Twitter, Week 17 Fantasy. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on all these podcast thingies that carry podcasts. And, Stat comes in, says a couple of things, and Amalean does his thing and does whatever he does. And then we, do it. Right, Stat?
That's right. And my thing is encouraging all of you to submit your questions. In our Thursday episode, we've got everyone's favorite segment, Ask Week 17, coming up. Make sure you submit your questions. You can head on over to week17fantasy.com. Find the link there.
All right, guys. I want to talk about Mr. Drew Mother Breeze. Okay. Special shout out to him. Austin, Texas born. He broke Peyton Manning's NFL passing yardage record, and now he's over 72K passing yards for his career.
Nice. I should have queued up the hand claps, but sorry, Breeze. But congratulations.
Do y'all rank Breeze as a top 5 all-time quarterback?
Possibly. We'll see when it's all said and done. I think he needs another Super Bowl.
He's got numbers, though.
Yep. All right, guys. Eagles, Giants, Thursday Night Football. Who y'all got?
Let's make Dan get the pick first. What do you think, Dan?
I'll go with the Eagles, man.
Yeah, it's a good bet.
Yeah, I'm going with the Eagles too, man. Even though they're struggling a little bit, but I think they'll be able to get the Giants number.
Yeah, Super Bowl champs, tough to argue with that. I think the Giants, I mean, they've had some bad luck. Let's at least say that. They're 1-4, but I think that I'm looking here. The Giants are getting more betting action this week, so I'll be a betting man and go with the Giants.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Giants as well. I feel like they kind of turned it on, or they found their rhythm against that Panthers defense is actually pretty good. So I'd say Giants.
Well, the only win they got was against the Texans.
I guess that concludes the show. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. We love having our listeners. Make sure you submit your questions like Stat said. We want to thank Dan for joining us today, and we will see you guys Thursday. Peace.
Later.